Have you ever forgotten where you parked your car? And then reassured yourself, it's probably just age. But the truth might be more serious than you think. According to the latest research, subtle changes in the brain, early signs of dementia, can begin years before a diagnosis is ever made. Sadly, most older adults overlook these early warning signs until it's too late. But here's the good news. If caught early, you can slow the progression and preserve a sharp memory for years, long enough to fully enjoy life with your grandchildren, hobbies, and independence. So today, we're going to uncover 10 early signs of dementia that you must not ignore. Especially number 9. Even doctors are surprised by it, and chances are you've seen it in someone close to you. Stay with us to the end, because what you realize by the final sign might change your future. And now, let's look at the first symptom often mistaken for just getting old. But the truth isn't that simple. Sign number 1. Forgetting recent conversations. You just told your dad a few minutes ago about dinner that the family would be having mom's homemade lasagna tonight. But 10 minutes later, he turns and asks, "What's for dinner tonight?" As if the conversation never happened. We often blame this on distraction or say, it's just old age, but if it happens frequently, it could be one of the earliest warning signs of dementia. Short-term memory loss. Think of short-term memory like a small whiteboard in the brain. Information is written down, stored, and then transferred to long-term memory for someone who is healthy. But for someone showing signs of dementia, that whiteboard is wiped clean almost instantly, and conversations drift by like a passing breeze. A bit of humor. Many older adults will say, "You never told me that." But in truth, you did, twice. Quick tip, try using a conversation journal or voice notes. Recording conversations helps them remember better and gives them a sense of control without feeling like they're being monitored. And if you think this sign is subtle, the next one is even trickier. When your loved one can't seem to find the simplest words to express what they're thinking. Sign number 2. Struggling to find words, even simple ones. Have you ever heard someone say, "Can you pass me the thing to change the channel, the remote?" You might have just laughed at that moment, thinking they were joking. But it's no longer something to brush off when this happens often, even with common, everyday words. This is an early sign of decline in the brain's language center. Older adults might know precisely what they want to say, but just can't find the right word, like someone's hiding a key puzzle piece in their mind. Here's a simple test. Show them a picture, for example, a dog running, and ask, "What is this?" If they recognize it's a dog but can only say, "It's an animal," that's when you should start paying closer attention. Solution. Encourage crossword puzzles, reading stories aloud daily, or even sharing memories from their youth. All of these help activate and strengthen the brain's language pathways. And then, there's a more alarming sign. When the familiar road home suddenly feels unfamiliar. What does that mean? Let's look at sign number 3, which is coming up next. Sign 3. Getting lost in familiar places. Can you believe it? After 20 years of taking the same road to your local grocery store, one day you stop at a familiar intersection and have no idea whether to turn left or right. Many older adults begin experiencing this without realizing it. They make excuses, "I'm just tired today," or "the GPS must be acting up." But the truth is, even with directions, you can't get to where you're going if you forget what you're looking for. This is one of the key signs that the brain is starting to lose its sense of direction, especially in the areas that process spatial awareness and navigation. When your neighborhood starts to feel unfamiliar or takes much longer to get your bearings, that's a serious red flag. And the scary part? It's not just getting lost outside. In many cases, people with dementia get confused inside their own homes, walking into the bathroom and asking, "Where's the kitchen again?" But hold on, because there's something even more telling. It often loses track of time before the brain loses its sense of place. And that's sign number 4, a symptom many mistake for simply forgetting the schedule. Next, we'll explore why not remembering what day it is isn't as harmless as you might think. Sign number 4, losing sense of time and date. Have you ever seen someone ask, "What day is it today?" Then, just a few hours later, they ask the same question? It might seem like a small thing, but confusing Tuesday with Sunday is a warning sign linked to the medial frontal lobe, the part of the brain that controls time, awareness, sequence, and circadian rhythms. When older adults start to lose track of morning versus ends, afternoon, or miss key time markers like birthdays, doctor's appointments, or holidays, it could be an early sign of time disorientation, one of the first symptoms in the dementia process. A simple test. Ask them what day or date it is, without letting them look at a clock or phone. Tip: hang an extensive calendar somewhere visible. Mark daily activities clearly and offer gentle reminders in the morning, like, "Today is Thursday, we've got yoga class." But don't think it stops there. The next sign doesn't just affect your schedule, it can impact your wallet and bank account. When financial decisions become unusual, it's time to pay close attention. Let's look at sign number 5, which is coming up next. Sign number 5, unusual financial decisions. If you notice your dad buying 3 identical juicers in the same week, or sending money to a sketchy charity 4 times in a month, don't just chalk it up to generosity. It might be a serious warning sign. Losing the ability to make sound financial decisions is one of the more subtle but dangerous signs of dementia. Older adults may be more vulnerable to scam calls, fall for television shopping ads, or give away money without understanding the consequences. A little humor, but very real. Grandpa owns 12 of the same watch, and the strange part? He doesn't wear any of them. What to do? If you start noticing odd spending behavior, consider setting up a co-manager for their finances, whether it's an adult child, a lawyer, or a trusted financial advisor. Doing this early can protect their assets and prevent severe losses. And speaking of behavior changes, there's another sign that can be even harder to face. When someone's personality shifts so much, you barely recognize them. Sign number 6 will make you rethink even the most minor daily reactions. Sign number 6, sudden mood and personality changes. My mom used to be the calmest person in the family, always gentle with the grandkids, always the peacemaker when something went wrong. But one afternoon, when her young grandson spilt milk on the table, she suddenly lost it, slammed her hand down and yelled. The whole family froze. No one knew what had just happened. If you've witnessed a loved one go through mood swings like this, from kind and patient to irritable, anxious, or suspicious without reason, it may not just be a personality shift from aging. The shrinking of the frontal lobe, the brain's center for emotional regulation and behavior, is often to blame. This change affects how the person reacts emotionally, making it harder to control impulses or stay calm under stress. Tip: start tracking emotional changes weekly. Use a notebook or a mood tracking app. This doesn't just help with early detection, it also provides valuable insights for doctors if intervention is needed. But there's one more sign, more silent, but deeply affecting their emotional well-being. It's when your loved one begins to withdraw from activities they once loved. They no longer want to join family dinners, attend social gatherings, or even walk in the park. Sign number 7, withdrawing from social activities. She used to be the heart of every family dinner, always telling jokes, always remembering every grandchild's birthday. But lately, every time there's a gathering, she says, "I'll sit this one out. I'm just too tired." At first, you think it's just her health, but then she quits her book club, stops going to church, and even avoids chatting with the neighbors like she used to. The activities that once brought her joy now feel like a burden. The truth is, people in the early stages of dementia often realize they're having mental slips, and they feel ashamed or afraid of letting others down. So instead of risking embarrassment, they quietly pull away. A little bittersweet humor. Grandpa said he'd come as long as no one made him talk to anyone. Tip: encourage just one familiar activity per week. A morning walk, a phone call to an old friend, or even flipping through family photos together. No matter how small, connection is one of the most potent medicines. But you know what's even more concerning? It's when they start blaming others for things they did themselves, like putting the remote control in the refrigerator. That's sign number 8, and it can leave families confused and even hurt. Sign number 8, misplacing items and blaming others. One morning, you search the whole house for the television remote. It's nowhere to be found. And then, you discover it neatly sitting inside the fridge next to the yogurt. Before you can even ask, your elderly loved one says, "Someone must have taken my remote. I didn't do that." That's when it hits you. This isn't just typical forgetfulness anymore. It combines memory loss, confusion, and even unfounded suspicion. This is a relatively typical early sign of dementia, when the brain forgets its actions and tries to fill in the blanks by creating a story that makes sense, which often means blaming others. Solution: place clearly labeled baskets around the house like television remote, keys, or glasses. And with today's technology, you can also attach tracking devices to essential items. And if you think that's worrying, imagine this. Someone forgets how to make coffee, even though they've done it every morning for 30 years. Sign number 9 will make you rethink what unforgettable habits mean. Sign number 9, Struggling with familiar tasks. Your dad used to make coffee every morning, boil the water, measure the grounds just right, pour it into the filter, then sit back and read the paper while it slowly drips. Every step was part of a peaceful morning routine. But recently, you've noticed his cup is filled with hot water. He forgot to add the coffee. Other days, he pours boiling water straight into the mug, adds sugar, and nothing else. It might seem minor, but it's a serious warning sign. These repetitive daily actions stored in procedural memory are typically preserved until the later stages of dementia. So when familiar tasks like cooking, paying bills, or getting dressed become confused or incomplete, it's a red flag. Solution: create step-by-step instruction cards and post them in key areas: the kitchen, bathroom, or desk. Example: making coffee, step 1, boil water. Step 2, add ground coffee to the filter. This supports independence while reducing frustration. And now, we come to a sign almost everyone overlooks until it repeats itself like a broken record. What time is the doctor's appointment again? Asked for the 5th time in just one morning. Get ready for sign number 10 and why repetition is never random. Sign number 10. Repeating the same question over and over. What time is my doctor's appointment today? You answer, 10 a.m., Dad. Not even 2 minutes later. Wait, what time is the appointment again? That same question gets asked 6 times in just 10 minutes. You sigh. You feel exhausted. But for someone showing signs of dementia, they're not doing this on purpose. The reason is damage to the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for storing new information. In other words, their brain simply can't record what you just said, even if it was only moments ago. So instead of getting frustrated or blaming them, respond with calm and kindness. Use visual reminders. Write the appointment time on a note and place it somewhere visible, like the fridge or dining table. Remember, just because they don't remember doesn't mean they don't feel how you treat them. And here's something surprising. This habit of repetition is closely linked to what seniors eat in the morning, a fact most people don't know. In our next video, we'll uncover: seniors, eat this first thing in the morning or your leg muscles will keep disappearing. Don't miss it, because what you eat first could affect your memory and mobility. So there you have it, the 10 early signs of dementia you should never ignore. If you recognize even one small sign from this list, whether in yourself or a loved one, don't brush it off. Early detection is a powerful opportunity to preserve memory, independence, and quality of life for many years. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed any of these signs in someone close to you? If you found this video helpful, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, so we can continue this journey together toward better brain and body health.